Welcome to the Bourbon Barkeep Halloween Spooktacular
Special edition.
Well, this is going to be really weird for someone looking for Tumblin dice in May, but here we are.
Yeah, I kind of forget that there are people that maybe watch this, you know, outside of the Halloween festivities, outside of that Halloween time frame.
We are all in on the Halloween
But
festivities.
we're all in, yeah. Hit the lights.
There it is.
Come on. So hood's down now.
Why?
It's tight on my face and it's
so
warm.
tight.
It's super warm. So yeah.
Did you pick one that was specific mustard only? Like, was that like a stance that you took?
No, this was Amazon. Yeah, it was Amazon solely because I can return it.
Sure.
It doesn't fit great. A little baggy. Pretty styrofoamy. Didn't know that, but
I mean, I feel like there's some people out there that would say it would fit great.
I appreciate that.
Anyways, so big deal for us.
Yeah.
We hit over 1,000 views on our shittiest quality video.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
We put out.
But yeah, tonight, so Halloween episode. Thanks for joining us. Special edition, if you will.
Yes.
The first annual Bourbon Barkeep Halloween episode.
And how spooky.
I'm a hot dog. Please explain who you are, because I don't want to screw it up.
Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Have you seen Fight Club?
I have. Yeah.
Oh,
I just
okay.
didn't know if you had something more that you wanted to kind of.
No. It seemed like a fun and recognizable enough costume.
The hair's cool. This is the first time I've seen your hair like that in probably 7-8 years. But yeah, so Tumblin dice. I assume you have your regular spiel about the origins, the comeuppance, if you will, of Tumblin dice.
They have not really come up from anything. They did not start from the bottom and now we're here.
They started here.
They
Okay.
were just here.
Sure.
One cool thing that they actually do, which I read about it, I was like, oh, okay. See what Noah's Bottle has to offer. So the dice, they actually have dice on the back as well, so it's not weird for me to point here. It's the same dice.
Give you a little. I know, but just give you a little peek to the back of the bottle. Yeah. Give it a little twirl. It's Halloween.
Show them the back, boy.
It's Halloween.
Anyways, so the dice, you see how it's 7? That's the age.
That's cool. Oh, okay.
That's the age.
No, that's cool.
How cool was that?
So yeah, it's 7-year-old.
It factor.
Exactly. Charred oak barrels.
Yep. They still do the same stuff. This is from Proof and Wood, but Ross and Squibb juice. So this is going to be their higher rye recipe.
Is this like your 36%, 38%?
Good for you.
Let's
Look at
go.
you pay
Come on,
attention.
man. I'm learning here.
You got the 60% corn, 36 rye, and 4% malted barley.
Sick.
And to give her credit is due, Tumblin Dice, they won the 2021 Best Single Barrel Non-Kentucky Bourbon at the World Whiskeys Awards.
Cheers.
Well, World Whiskeys, you know?
That's nice, yeah. So without further ado, we probably should get to cheersing and nosing and tasting, right?
So, happy Halloween to
you guys.
all.
Yeah, I hope you guys have great costumes this year. And this is a deep, this is a deep, rich flavor, like a desserty.
Oh, man.
Not really desserty, but like it's definitely like a hearty.
Well, it's tough because like you'll sit there and you'll say these caramels and brown sugars and toffees, but when we talk about, there's an intentionality behind this tastes like toffee. It's just a deeper, richer caramel. I don't know why I put quotes around caramel. Caramel's real. So I got a couple more noses in here.
Oh, you do?
Can I?
Yeah, I'll wait.
Just
Yeah,
real quick.
sure.
You can sip and then it'll bridge the gap.
Sure.
It's not peach. This is like I baked a peach in cinnamon. So you kind of have like this nectar of peach and cinnamon and sugary, and I mean that's a great nose. Please tell the people.
Wow. Yeah. So it's funny how you I don't get a ton of peach, but a pie that utilizes cinnamon largely. Like obviously a peach pie will use a ton of cinnamon, an apple pie will use a ton of cinnamon. There's a very rich, deep, like almost sugary, desserty cinnamon flavor there.
There's like 2 or 3 parts. God, this
I'll
leather
put
is
something
so
up.
damn hot.
It could be.
But
Take it off, man.
no, it's part of the costume.
I got nothing underneath, so I can't really.
You got to earn it. Yeah, you do.
I can't strip this off.
Arm day?
No,
Just a good day.
just a good day.
I mean, I'm so good.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it, man. But
Get it back.
yeah, I don't necessarily get as much peach as you, but yeah, like at the beginning, there's that deep, like rich, like dessert cinnamon, and then I get the rye probably in the middle, toward the back. Man, that's really good. I'm happy that it evolves.
Yeah.
You know?
It does. It changes throughout the palate, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
The mouthfeel is fantastic. It hangs around a very long time. What made you buy it?
So liquor store, a friend of mine owns a liquor store in Kansas City. And he has this kind of like section where he'll throw out allocated bottles, whether it be Buffalo Trace or Weller or whatever. Sometimes there's some really good stuff over there, and then sometimes you're kind of limited. Obviously, with every liquor store, that's how it goes. And this was over there one time, and it was 50 MSRP or 55 MSRP. I can't remember. It was not over 60.
Which we did not touch on. So thank
Sure,
you.
yeah. But yeah, it sat there and it said one per customer. Looked cool. I'd never seen it before. I don't know if you've seen it before.
Never. No.
But it looked like kind of a fun bottle. The Vegas type of spin on it is kind of cool. So yeah, I picked it up and man, I saw single barrel 7 year like.
It definitely has a couple check boxes, if you will, with the higher proof. This is one of the more surprising bottles I've had.
That's a great like this time of year bottle.
Oh, with the peach, yeah.
Like we're coming up on Halloween here in the next few days, and then obviously the holiday season. Like that's a great holiday season bottle with the peach note, the cinnamon note, the deep richness, the kind of like almost tastes caloric, if you will.
Yeah, it's tough because I gravitate towards a lot of dessert tasting notes, but it's not sweet.
No, it's not. But it like tastes like there's substance there almost.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
it's tough to describe.
It's like a vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah.
So you have this cream, you have a little tweak to vanilla, which is more of your standard bourbon note. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say like peach cobbler, but I mean, you're talking
Deep
the
richness.
same kind of notes.
Richness for sure. One thing to note, and I will get into this
Please.
with It Factor. The wax seal is diabolical. Like in
You struggled.
in a
I bet.
horribly bad way. You know, like Knob Creek is obviously known for that wax seal with the almost like a tag, the little flag on the end that you're gonna grab and bring out.
Some wines have it, yeah.
They need to do away with the gold wax.
It's tough because the wax is a good look, but
It's a good
Makers
look,
has it
but
figured out.
I mean, my God.
Yeah,
So
but let's get to scoring.
yeah,
because
speaking
this
of,
is-
all right, I got my book. Okay. So got our 4 categories: senses, It Factor, hug, and bang for the buck. Senses is your all-encompassing nose, palate, and then It Factor is category 2, and that's basically taking into account the history of the brand, you know, the ease of opening the bottle, which we'll probably get into in a little bit, as well as the design on the label. Like anything you kind of want to take this, you can take it into It Factor. Like what's cool about this bottle.
Sure.
Hug, another word for finish. How does it finish up? How does it wrap up? And then lastly, bang for the buck. We want to give all of our bourbons that we try or ryes that we try. Mitchell would probably try some ryes.
You would think.
Yeah. We want to give everybody a fair shake in terms of price. So, you know, like we'll try a couple of $100 bottles, and we've done so this far already. We want to make sure that we give the $30, $40 bottles a fair shake and have the category of its own as far as how much does this bottle cost, what's it taste like.
Yep.
So this one being only $50 will probably
We'll see.
do pretty well.
We'll
So
see. I'm not gonna tip my hat.
Yeah, Senses, start us off, man.
Man, really good. I don't know what the highest I've given. This is pretty impressive. I think I'm gonna go 78.
Wow.
I was tempted to get into those low 80s, but it's extremely good. The tasty note is right in my wheelhouse.
But yeah, so kind of same vein as you. I'm gonna go 75.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with my multiple of 5 here. This is probably top 3 in terms of just pure like nose taste that we've tried on this channel. Damn good nose. It's damn good palate. Does it get better from here? Yeah, sure does. But That's damn good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 75. It factor, you said there probably wasn't a ton to the history of this bottle. Relatively tame in terms of design. Cool label. Cool theme to the label with the whole rolling dice, obviously, with the numbers on the dice matching the age of the bourbon. This little, I mean, it's like a contraption at this point.
I mean,
I'm
pros
gonna
and
dock.
cons. I mean, it's a good look on the shelf, but in terms of functionality,
I'm gonna dock.
it looks like you gave it to a puppy and
Yeah.
just let it gnaw on it.
So I'm gonna go 65. If this was not a thing, I would have gone 70. I'm gonna give it a 5-point dock. I'm gonna go 65.
This is tough because this is a lot of check boxes that I would look for. I'm going to go 56. That's where I'm at.
Wow. Okay.
56. The label's cool. The gold's cool. The wax is cool. It's a horrible pain to open, I'm sure, which I did not. So maybe I would dock
You
it.
watched me, yeah.
The dice is awesome.
Sure. Moving into Hug. You want to start us off? You want me to?
I want you to. I'm kind of curious where you go.
It didn't wow me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to probably start my score at the beginning and then try to justify. So I'm going to go 65 again.
Okay.
It's a nice finish. It's not necessarily super deep, as you always call a Kentucky Hug. It's not something that you want to wrap yourself up in on a winter's night and go to bed with. But there's definitely notes that you get toward the back of, you know, your experience with it that like kind of come out a little bit more. Like I get the ride toward the end. But like I said, you know, it's not crazy long. It's not necessarily something that, you know, you can talk about afterwards. Like, oh my God, that finish on Tumblin Dice was nuts. Like that's not something that you'd be able to do really. So like I'm going to go respectable 65. I'm going to go right in the middle.
Yeah, I built in the tongue prick, if you will, into the sense, obviously, with that high 78. Hug, it's still really good and really impressive. It does evolve, kind of sits on the tongue. I'm going to go 68.
Cheers.
Yeah.
You've abandoned the multiples of 5 at this point.
I got to get comfortable with it.
Okay.
Give me your bang for the buck because this is your bottle. You paid for it.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
So like I said, let's call it 55.
Graded at 55, but I feel like when you start going above 50 for bang for the buck, that means you're able to reach.
Sure. Yeah, like we'll go 55 with it. I mean, bang for the buck, I'll go 75. Like that's a really, really good bottle for 55 bucks.
That's my number. I'm going
Nice.
to go 75 as well.
Like I'm pretty impressed, to be honest. And it's not just because it's my bottle. Like I've loved your bottles and hated mine before, and probably vice versa. This might be one of those times vice versa.
Thank you for taking care of my bottles.
Sure.
No, I feel like if you're going to sit there and walk in at 55 and you're willing to spend 25 extra more, like if this was a common bottle, 55, I would buy it all day.
That's damn good.
If they were like, hey, inflation sucks, but here we are, we're at 75 now, I wouldn't hoard it, but I would always have a bottle. And that should mean something.
Speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we're going to tattle these up, math it up, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
So math, we updated our Bourbon Barkeep rankings. Yeah, this is our new number 2 on both of our top 3s. Thoroughly impressed.
There's nothing more to say. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not your traditional bourbon where it's that brown sugar, oak, vanilla. I mean, it comes into this life of its own that's really fun.
And like, as you said, our rankings, that kind of brings us into a little segue here, if you will. We have those on our Patreon.
Yes, we do. For the people that watched last week, we launched our own Patreon channel. And proud of it. I feel like one thing that we strive to be is a generous channel. We want to give out samples, give out bottles.
We want to make it worth it. You know, we're not just trying to bank money on those that do try to support our channel.
No.
We want to make sure that it's worth their while, and we do hang our hat on that. So I'm glad you said that for sure.
Yeah. So the generosity, at least once you sign up, depending on what tier you sign up for, we have a birthday pour. So one of the things I'm actually excited about, we're partnering with someone on Etsy who has their store. We're going to be doing some Glencairns for the Bourbon Barkeep, do a little double Bs.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Yeah, so kind of
cool.
pumped for that. The giveaways, the rankings are up there that we've talked about. So those will be kind of a running thing that we update. So things like that, we're excited about Patreon. One of the things that I'm personally kind of giddy about is making you all money. And so you posted 3 bets, was that right?
Yeah, I have 3 out there thus far. So, like, one of the main reasons why we decided to launch this now and instead of waiting was due to the fact that we've encountered some, turbulence, if you will. So, like, we record on Wednesday nights, generally.
Typically. Yeah.
So we encountered the problem of I release San Francisco money line at -110 on Wednesday night, and all of a sudden,
Probable to Sean.
yeah. So there's just like injury news. There's all these different things that can change that line to where it's just not attainable for you on Friday mornings when it does finally get put out.
Yeah.
The video, I mean. So we were like, well, let's figure out a way to get these bets out in real time. So that's something you have access to. If you do sign up for the Patreon, hope you do. But
So I know your bets are accessible at $5 a month. Hopefully we make you more than $5 a month. But when you sign up, I'm telling you, turn on the notifications because betting will be a big part of what we're trying to push.
Our
when
offerings.
I say we, I mean the wiener sitting next to me.
Sure, yeah.
So that's the point of it. I mean, obviously, I hope that the Bourbon Barkeep boost your confidence with the record that we put out there. So there will be a lot of exclusive content that I hope that we start to put out. Obviously, it won't affect Instagram. We'll still put out the reels and things like that. But excited to see where it goes. But ultimately, if you all have suggestions for the tiers, we'll be releasing more. But we won't harp on Patreon too much because that's not why we do the channel. But we want to give you all what you are asking for and what you all want. So the 2 ounces of the Tumblin dice will be eligible to someone that has a birthday coming up, which will be super fun to send out to someone. I'm excited to share what we're doing here. Sure. That's what I want to do. Like, subscribe. We have some other stuff coming out, not just on Fridays, that will be posted out there.
Couple bonus episodes.
I mean, we got the holidays coming up, so we may have some extra time on our hands. We may be posting on a Wednesday. You never know. You don't know.
I'll tell you what, man, I love to edit. I love to edit.
Anyways, thank you all.
Deal. There it is.